Welcome back to the South Barber Spotlight. This episode is brought to you by May Precision Ag, Kiowa, Kansas. Be sure to contact Jerry May for all your Pioneer seed, grid soil sampling, and custom farming needs. This week on the South Barber Spotlight, we have head volleyball coach Luke MacKinney. South Barber is off to their best start since 2019 with a current overall record of 10-7, 3-4 in district play, with big tournament wins at Norwich over Caldwell, Sunrise Christian, and Udall. With a blend of senior leadership and young talent fueling the momentum, South Barber's currently 5th place in the Heart of the Plains League. Coach, welcome to the Spotlight.
Thanks, Justin. Glad to be here.
How's everything been going?
It's been a great year, honestly. I really wasn't sure what to expect this year. Last year, we had an okay season. We had a lot of success as far as the wins that we had last year were not as spectacular as we were hoping. But when I went back and compared the stats from my first season to my second season, all of the games pretty much that we lost by less than we did the year before. So there was progress that we were seeing. And I knew if we could continue that progress, a lot of our games last year were really close losses. And so it was 21, 25, 22, 25, 23, 25. I think we played Fairfield more than any other team, and almost every game was 21, 25. And so I knew if we could just keep the momentum that we had, that we should definitely see ourselves in a whole different situation this year. And that has definitely proved to be the case.
So with you guys being off to the best start in school since 2019, what's changed? Can you pinpoint a couple items?
There's several things, honestly, that has changed. Number one, we didn't graduate anybody last year. We had no seniors on the team, so we were really young. We had 2 juniors on the team, 2 sophomores on the team, and then we had a 3rd sophomore come in. And so we were really young. And so I had like 4 kids that had been with me for 2 years, really. And then this year, we had a couple of good freshmen come up. We got Lennon and we got Melanie that popped in. And then Lydia Bushman moved into town, and she hadn't played since 7th grade, but she's got some great instincts. And then Miley Hodson actually moved to town and joined us partway after the season got started. And she's brought a lot of height to where we were missing. We were really short last year. And so this year we've got a much taller block, especially on our right side, which blocks their typically most powerful hitter. And so having that block up really takes a lot of the court away that our back row defense had to defend last year. So that's just the new blood also has come with a lot of spark and heart, and that's been great. And the girls just really seem to want it this year. They are gelling a whole lot better as a team than either of the 2 prior years. Like, we had decent team unity and stuff, dynamics, but this year they're just all getting along, and our mental has changed. If you came and watched us last year, you would have seen as soon as things started to get down, you'd see our girls starting to look down, kind of that look come over their face, and us just starting to fall back. When we would get in the lead, then a lot of times we would almost panic, and there goes the lead, and that's why we would end just shortly behind. This year, a whole different ballgame. We've been in some terrible situations, including in the Norwich tournament. We were down 1-10. I believe it was against Sunrise. And like, I was like, we had a great first game. And then we're 1-10 in the 3rd, I believe it was. And I'm like, I don't know, but those girls fought back hard.
1-10 in the 3rd, meaning all they got to get to is 15 to close it out.
No, that's junior high.
Junior high, okay.
Yeah. In high school, it goes all the way to 25, unless you're playing a duel. A duel is where there's just 2 teams all day. So you play best 3 out of 5. And if it goes to 5, you play to 15.
Okay.
It's just like in college and high school.
Momentum can change so fast in volleyball. It reminds me of baseball. Is, you know, we, my girls play club ball during the winter, and I've seen them. Unfortunately, I watched their team last year. They were up 23-5 and lost. Those are killers.
So it's a hugely mental game, and it's really hard to dig out of a hole. Or if there's a really good server and you have kind of a weak back row rotation right there, there's nobody, like, you can try to sub people in and stuff, but really volleyball is a game where your weakest link on the court, if the other team can sit there and just serve that person, unless you can shift around or put somebody else in, there's no saving.
Yep.
And so that's where the mental side has killed us in the past, but has really been a strength of ours this year. Fiona Walls, she's really stepped up for us. We were in another bad situation against Fairfield, and we had missed a ton of serves. Fiona Walls comes in for us and brings us from, like, I don't know, 12 or 15 points all the way up to 21 to tie it. And then, but actually 23 points. She got us ahead or something like that. And then Kinsley came in to finish it out, you know, and she just decided, you know what, I'm not going out like this. And she got back there and she just served some killer balls.
That's
and
awesome.
When you can, because it's such a game of momentum, that mental is a huge side of the game. And so to see her step up as a senior leader this year and be like, I'm not going out like this, it really just lit a spark in all the girls. And it was a really fun thing to see that growth.
So would you feel confident saying they spent last year trying to figure out how to learn how to win or how to lose?
Mm-hmm.
This year they've taken that step forward to learning how to win, how to battle through adversities.
Yeah. These girls have had it rough in not just volleyball, in sports for a long time. They're kind of used to losing, and that's been for a series. Like, there was some success in junior high, but really in high school programs, we kind of got in this mentality of, okay, well, there's another loss. But we broke through that, which is really good because I hate losing.
Oh,
I told the girls, I said, I absolutely hate losing. And I don't want to become comfortable losing. And I've definitely learned so much about being a coach, and things that, you know, I would change if I went back to year one, but that's part of the growth process. Just like the girls are learning, I'm learning. I expect 100% from them. And so I'm going to expect 100% of myself, and they can hold me accountable to that. And so I just really think that we've seen a ton of growth mentally and some physically as well. But it's been a fun season. Practices are fun. That's one of the great things about volleyball. I never played football, but everything I've been told by people that have is games are awesome in football, but practices just are no fun at all. You just got to gut them out so you can get to Friday. But volleyball, we can have fun in practice. And so it's been a whole lot of fun watching the girls grow as we keep going through the season. And I'm looking forward to what we have to come.
Awesome. What identity do you see forming with this team? Is it defense? Is it their attack? Is it just a balance? What do you think?
Well, it's kind of an interesting question because we were rolling really good, and we had kind of an interesting balance. We had Alyssa on the outside and Danielle on the outside. Danielle setting in the other side of our 6-2 rotation. And Danielle doesn't hit real hard, but she's super accurate. Like, her error percentage on attacks is very, very low. But also, she doesn't convert as many of her attempts into kills because she doesn't hit as hard. Alyssa on the other side, man, she's got just amazing power, but she's still young. She's still just a sophomore. And so she has quite a few errors, but her attempts to kills is a lot higher, but also attempts to errors is a lot higher. So it's kind of an interesting balance on attack. I would say our passing is way better this year than it has been. And with volleyball, it all starts with a good pass. because if you don't have a good pass, you can't get a good set. If you don't have a good set, you can't have a good hit. We are running a 6-2, like I mentioned. So that means we run 2 setters all the time out of the back row. So we always have 3 hitters in the front row. Got your left side, your middle. Left side's also known as the outside, then your middle hitter and your right side hitter. And being able to vary which person you're setting the ball to splits the defense on the other side. And so the fact that we've got it spread out to where we're not just using our outside like we usually have has led to a lot of successful kills. Not to mention, Lennon is really aggressive as a setter. She's not afraid to dump that ball aggressively over the net, and we've scored a lot of points that way too. Identity-wise, though, I think it's hustle. We're seeing these girls hustle a lot more than they ever have. They're also learning the game, and they're learning to read the court a whole lot better. And part of that is communication. We've worked a ton on communication. So if you just come and you listen to our games from this year, you're going to hear the girls talking and communicating a lot more. And that's led to a lot fewer dropped balls and the ability to convert what might not be a great pass into still an attack. It might not be a hard hit, but it's not just going to be a free ball. One of those stats I'm most proud of this year, that's very different from our first 2 years, is that we've actually sent a fewer number of free balls than we've received total across all games. And we sent a lot of free balls over the last 2 years.
Now let's talk about that just for a second. Just for somebody that may not know what volleyball is, what is a free ball?
So a free ball is basically where you're not trying to score a point when you send the ball over because the first 2 touches or whatever were not good. And so you're literally just trying to get the ball over the net so it doesn't hit your side of the floor. Typically, it's an underhand pass that's just a lollipop over to the other side, and it allows the other team to run their offense as however they want. And so your whole goal is to get the other team out of system so they can't run their offense. Whereas that typically is best if you're attacking the ball, trying to score the point. An attack can be a hit. It can also be a tip to like a deep corner or just over the blockers to that 10-foot line. Call that the donut. We had one game where the girls were just absolutely attacking the donut of the other team, and we scored a ton of points. So we bought them a box of donuts the next day because that's how they won that game. Was they were like, we realized that's a weakness of the team. They don't know how to defend that, so we just kept hitting that.
So are you running the same offense as the first year you started as a head coach, or or has it changed?
Okay, so the offense or the system, I guess, is really what we call it. The system that we're running is a 6-2. And I did run that the first year. I ran it with Autumn Drake as a setter and Danielle as a setter. And purely that was because I needed some more height. I needed to be able to use Autumn in the front row to hit as well as set because of her height. We were really short that year. And then the second year, we ran a 5-1 with Miley Turner all the way around as the setter. This year, we were running a 5-2, but then Danielle got a hernia, and so she had to have surgery. And so she's actually out right now. And so we had to scramble and switch to a 5-1. So we've got Lennon, a freshman setter, who's doing a good job for us, but it is a big ask to have her setting all the way around. Then we also had to switch Miley from right side to outside, and then change up our whole back row as well. So I'm running right now a 5-1, but because Danielle's out, it does look like Danielle will be able to come back in a week or two. So we'll probably switch back to the 6-2, but that's one thing I'm real proud of the girls for, is they're able to handle switching mid-season and potentially even mid-game into a different system. One of my core principles as a coach is I want to develop smart players that know the game, not just players that are like, okay, I'm an outside and this is what I do all the time. because I want them to be able to step into any gym for the rest of their life and be able to play that game and know whatever position that they're in, that they can go out there and play that position and have fun.
So you did mention Danielle's out.
Yeah.
But just looking through the stats of this year, she's been very steady as a senior leader. For those that don't know that's going to see this episode, you might or might not be related to her.
Yeah.
So with an unbiased opinion, what has she meant to this program so far?
For Danielle brings steady and reliability. Like, she is a fantastic all-around player. Like I said, she does not hit the ball the hardest. You know, if I had another outside that could hit the ball harder with the same amount of accuracy, then that person would be in that position. And we had talked about, you know, the possibility of switching things up. And I've even told her, you know, if I've got another player that develops and hits harder, I may move you to setter 5-1, or we can move her to the right side or middle. Danielle last year played more right side and middle. And so, and she loves to block. Her and her sister both. They love to block. And when you're playing right side or middle, you get a lot more opportunities to block against their better hitters. So the thing I love about Danielle is that she is a fantastic all-around player. She has a great volleyball IQ. She can read the court. So I can really put her anywhere, and I know she'll be successful. Even though she's one of our setters in the back row, typically in a 6-2, you don't have your back row setter and serve receive. But I have her. We've got kind of two different rotations we run. I sometimes run her in 5 serve receives. So we've got Kinsley backing her up if she's in serve receive as the second touch. But the thing that she brings is she shows the girls that, look, you can learn the whole game. And she's just been really steady.
Awesome. So how do you balance, you know, the experience of your seniors with the development of, you know, you got a couple new freshmen, but you also have some sophomores as well, because you're still relatively a young team.
Very young.
How do you balance that?
Well, this is what I tell my players. This is what I tell my parents. This is high school varsity ball. And what that means is I'm always going to have the 6 girls on the court that I feel that we have the best chance of winning with. So if that means I'm bringing one girl off the bench and she's just one of the best 6 servers that I have, and that's all I bring her in for, then that's the girl I'm going to bring in, because I think we got the best shot. I'm going to develop my freshmen, sophomores by playing as much JV as possible. We play probably more JV games than anybody else does with the numbers that we have. We got 11 players, 10 right now with Danielle. This week, we're going to play 2 JV games, followed by 2 varsity games. Next week, we're going to play 3 JV games, followed by 3 varsity games if Danielle's back. If she's not, I'm probably going to cut that down, and we won't play all 3 of the JV games. But I'm going to rotate in my varsity players to kind of help us through those, because that's 6 games in one night.
Yeah. And
typically in a tournament, you're still only playing 5, maybe 6 games throughout a whole day. So I don't try to. That doesn't really factor into my decision. If I've got a senior that's not performing, then they're going to help us in practice. They're going to play probably JV still because of our numbers. But if I've got 6 freshmen that are just dominant, those are the ones that are going to play, because that's varsity sports. But development happens in practice. And so we do lots of things in practice to help with development. We run, sometimes we play games with 3-on-3 and 3-on-3-on-3, or 3-on-3-on-3-on-3. It depends on how many people we have at practice. Sometimes I'll bring someone else in to help us practice, or Coach Henson and I play a lot. And so development happens at practice. Games just show us what we need to do to improve, or where we need to improve.
Looking at the standings, you're currently 5th in the Heart of the Plains.
Mm-hmm.
What's it look like moving forward? Got some chances to move up those standings by the end of the season?
I mean, anything's possible. It is going to be more of a difficult situation without Danielle right now. We play Pretty Prairie, and they're a tough team. They cover the court well. They play right up there with Cunningham. Cunningham is a fantastic team. They don't have crazy good hitters on Cunningham that we faced, but man, you can't hardly find the floor against them no matter what you do. Pretty Prairie is going to be tough this Tuesday. Wichita Defenders, I tried to look and find some common opponents, but I really don't know. They don't have a fantastic win-loss record, but it doesn't matter if you don't know who they played or the strength of opponents that they've played. They've played mostly other homeschool teams, so they could be fantastic or they might not be very good. But Heart of the Plains League, Central Christian's always good. Coach Mary does a fantastic job. And really, Fairfield, we beat them without Danielle, and that was a great win, even though it was a challenge and took him to 3. But did we go to 3? Yeah, I can't remember now. I got too many games floating through my head. But Skyline, we're going to play them again. We should not have lost that. That was just a game where we lost our head. So I think we should be able to beat Skyline, should be able to beat Fairfield again. Attica is, they're always tough. And it's going to be a challenge. I think they were ranked top 10 still last I looked. I think they might have had a rough tournament this past weekend.
Yeah, I think if they've got anything going for them out of that, I think they lost 4, but that was to some larger classification schools. So I don't know if I wouldn't think that would hurt them as far as the rankings.
Yeah,
kind of like talking about the Wichita team. You can't take that record too serious, not knowing who they've played, because if they've been playing 5A and 6A schools, doesn't mean they can't play
exactly.
1A.
And Central Christian, they started out with not a very good record, but when I went and I looked at who they'd been playing, Coach Mary purposely had them playing some really, really tough opponents from bigger schools at the beginning of the season. And they're still a fantastic team, even though one of their top players isn't playing with them this year. But, it's really hard because we're still one of the smallest schools in the league. And we're, for some reason, South Barber's short. And I don't know if it's something in our water or what, but we don't have tall, but we're definitely getting more athletic. We've got a lot of talent coming up in the 8th grade right now. It's been fun watching to see how they've been progressing. We've got a few girls in club ball now. That's going to help. Our location plays against us because we're so far away from any club, especially the real good clubs like in Wichita. Pretty much every other team in our league is closer to those things than we are. And there's no making up for those number of touches that you get in a club season. But you know what? We play every game because there's a chance we can win every game. And whether we win or lose, the thing I'm looking for from my girls is that we're playing good, clean volleyball. We played Cunningham and we lost in 2, but I was really happy with that game because the girls played hard. They played clean volleyball. They were hitting hard. It was the first game really without Danielle, and they just played great. And it's not about the wins or losses. It's about what are we doing? Are we progressing as a team? Are we making improvements individually? And I can say for 100% positive, we're making a lot of improvements.
Good. Yeah, you got a good group of girls. I know I've seen the sophomores and freshmen more than I have any of the others because of the age of my daughters. But that group, starting with the sophomores, was a team in junior high that didn't necessarily have the greatest overall record during their season, but came on strong tournament time and advanced to the Final Four in league. And then the next year, that team goes undefeated during the season, stubs their toe in the Final Four, but ends up 3rd in the league. And so you do have a group of young girls that's seen that it doesn't necessarily matter what's happened right now, as long as you keep progressing, keep giving your best effort, kind of like what you said, just get better every time. That at the end of the season, there's still the opportunity for advancement.
Well, and that's one of the cool parts about being in a tough league. When almost every school is bigger than us and has taller kids or more kids on the team than us. But when it comes down to postseason, we're playing 1A Division II teams only.
Yep.
We're not out there playing the 2A, 3A schools. And, Medicine Lodge and Chaparral, not only are they 2A, they're really good 2A teams. I think Medicine Lodge had one win. I don't know what they did this past season, but one loss.
Yeah, they're 20-1.
And that loss was to Chaparral the night we were there, and it was a battle of a game. But Micaiah from Chaparral she was on one against us, and she was on one against them, just absolutely killing the ball. But I love the adversity of playing tougher teams, larger schools, because then when it comes down to it, we're playing 1A Division II teams at the end of the year. And so we get to see, all right, how do we stack up against other schools like us? Now, then you've got those outliers like Argonia, who they've only got like 9-10 girls. 3 of them are coached by their parents. Their parents are both the coaches who both played college ball. They're in club ball all year long. They do a fantastic job. Playing against them at the Norwich tournament, they were our only loss. But again, I was proud of our girls. They took them a lot deeper than most of the teams have taken them, including Attica. When Attica played Argonia, we actually scored more points against Argonia than Attica did. And so I was really proud of the girls for how they played in a really, really tough game.
You bet. Well, I was going to ask you about the Pretty Prairie Try tomorrow, but we've kind of talked about that already.
Yeah.
So I think we'll start wrapping this up. Is there anything else that you need to share before we close it up?
Yeah, I definitely want to mention Kinsley Schubaugh. Kinsley has been a fantastic part from freshman year on. The girl is just a phenomenal, absolutely, in the back row. She was my libero last year. I would have her there right now if I didn't absolutely need her to play all the way around right now. Height-wise, I just need her in the front row. Evie's stepped in and plays some libero for us in the back row. Evie's got a fantastic serve. But Kinsley is one of the reasons why our attitude is good. Her and Lennon and really Miley, they're kind of really making sure that we stay hyped up. But Kinsley's, I brought her on as one of the captains this year because she absolutely deserves it. So between Danielle, Fiona, and Kinsley, we got a lot of upperclassmen leadership. I don't believe in just making your upperclassmen, whoever they are, captains. They got to show something in order to do that. And so they've done a phenomenal job this year. So I'm really excited at the growth that I've seen. I'm excited not just for this year, but for the years to come. Kinsley's going to be my lone senior, I believe, next year. But I've got a lot of sophomores and a lot of talent in my sophomore class and my freshmen in my 8th grade. So I see a bright future for us for years to come.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite part about being a volleyball coach at South Barber?
My favorite part is getting to invest in the lives of these young ladies and getting to teach them a game that means a lot to me and that I've played pretty much my whole life. It started about I was probably 8 or 9 years old. We played volleyball, which is volleyball inside of a racquetball court. I played that like 3 times a week for years and years, and then it evolved to sand volleyball tournaments. And it's a game that I've loved, and my parents are still able to play in their 60s. And so I hope that I'm passing on to these girls something that they can stay active in and love for their lifetime like I do. So just the investment in these young ladies. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. Well, Luke, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for this show. And we'll let's just plan on doing another one. Season's not over yet, so we might as well do some more coaches shows while we've got the season going. What do you say?
All right. Sounds like fun.
All right. Well, good luck at Pretty Prairie, and thank you again.
Appreciate it.